I want you to close your eyes and picture the worst client experience you've ever had. Chances are it wasn't a £10,000 corporate partner. It was a £300 project you won on a freelance bidding platform after competing against 40 other creators who were willing to do it for 50. You stayed up until 3 a.m, handled 14 rounds of revisions, and got spoken to like an intern, all for a project that barely covered your groceries. Most creators think the problem is that they aren't good enough or that the market is flooded. So what do? They lower their prices even more. They join the race to the bottom. But here is the hard truth for 2026. You cannot out-cheap a lowballer. There will always be someone more desperate than you, willing to work for less than you, living in a lower cost of living country than you. If your entire client acquisition strategy relies on applying to public job boards and bidding on price, your business is already dead. In this episode, we are killing the bidding war. I'm going to show you the psychological trap of cheap clients, how to completely opt out of the public freelance marketplaces, and the exact positioning shift that forces high-value clients to pay you a premium, even when your competitors are offering to do it for pennies. Let's look at the underlying data of human behavior. Why do low-budget clients cause 90% of your operational headaches? It comes down to a fundamental concept called risk asymmetry. When a client only has a total budget of 500, that 500 represents a massive percentage of their available capital. To them, the risk of this project failing feels catastrophic. Because the stakes feel life or death to their bank account, they micromanage you. They panic. They demand infinite revisions because they are terrified of losing their tiny investment. Now look at a high-value corporate client. A £10,000 project allocation is a rounding error in their quarterly spreadsheet. They aren't risking their rent money. They're investing a small piece of a pre-approved growth budget. Because the budget isn't an emotional sacrifice, they treat you like a trusted vendor, not a servant. They get out of your way and let you execute. The paradox of the creative industry is that it is 10 times harder to sell a £500 video than it is to sell a £10,000 conversion system. Cheap clients buy your time and labour. High-value clients buy speed, certainty, and risk mitigation. If you want to stop getting treated like commodity labour, you have to stop hanging out where commodities are sold. So how do you actually cross the chasm from the lowball bidding wars to the high-value corporate boardrooms? You have to change your distribution layer. Think about how traditional freelance sites work. A client posts a vague job description, "Need a cool editor for a launch campaign." Instantly, the algorithm opens the floodgates. Within 10 minutes, 50 desperate freelancers copy-paste a generic proposal, attach a portfolio link, and drop their price to stand out. The client is overwhelmed, looking at a wall of identical options, so they just pick the cheapest one. It's an environment designed to commoditize you. To break out, you need to operate in an environment built on validated scarcity. This is exactly why we built the entire ecosystem at AgoraLeads. We looked at the broken, soul-crushing dynamic of public bidding sites and realized it was destroying the creative class. High-value clients don't want to sift through 50 low-quality pitches, and top-tier creators don't want to beg for work. AgoraLeads acts as an intelligent routing layer. We pre-vet the enterprise clients, extract their exact business bottlenecks, and then match them directly with the one creator whose strategic architecture perfectly solves that leak. There is no bidding war. There are no competitors undercutting your price. You enter the conversation not as a desperate option on a list, but as the validated solution chosen specifically for them. If you haven't built your profile on the platform yet, you are willingly leaving your business exposed to the lowball marketplace. Hit the link in the description, get your technical architecture mapped out, and let the network route the premium volume directly to you. Once you opt out of the public marketplace, you have to change how you talk about your pricing. When a client inevitably says, "Well, I found a guy online who can do this for a quarter of your price," a weak freelancer gets defensive or drops their rate. An architect uses the cost incentive alignment script to turn the client's cheapness against them. You look them dead in the eye and say, "You can absolutely hire a budget operator to build assets for you, but you need to ask yourself what you're actually paying for." A low-cost provider is incentivized to finish your project as fast as humanly possible so they can jump to the next cheap gig to pay their rent. They are betting on volume, not quality or business alignment. Our system is built entirely on outcome verification. We price based on the execution of a specific revenue target. If you want cheap pixels, hire the platform bidder. If you want a predictable system that removes the risk of failure from your pipeline, that requires an intentional investment. Boom. You just reframed their cheap option not as a bargain, but as a massive, unmitigated business risk. You didn't lower your price, you elevated your value. Your action plan for this week is a psychological reset. I want you to log out of every single public job board that forces you to compete on price. Delete the apps from your phone. If you are serious about transforming your creative skill set into an unfireable premium business asset, you need to be in the rooms where logic dictates the budget, not desperation. We drop masterclasses like this every single week to give you the exact operational blueprints to scale your creative business without selling your soul. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit the button right now so you don't miss the next framework. Stop bidding. Stop undercutting your worth. Go to AgoraLeads.ai, claim your positioning, and let's build an undeniable machine. I'm Remy. Let's get to work.